To another Flutter tutorial. In today's episode, we'll learn how to work with card widgets. In the last episode, we created our own stateless widget. We created this class icon widget where we are returning an icon. We use dependency injection to insert the icon that we want to display. In this example, we are displaying this lock icon. So for this episode, let's learn how to improve this user interface using Card widget. Card widget is another widget for material designs. It has round corners and shadow. You can use Card widget when you want to group or you want to improve data presentation or a group of widgets using cards. So Card widget is a good widget to use when you need to improve your user interface. It has a child property, but this child can be a column, row, list, or grid widgets. Don't worry about these widgets. These are widgets that you use to group a bunch of widgets together. As we move forward in this tutorial series, you'll learn how to work with those widgets. But for now, let's learn how to work with Card widget. To get started, click on this icon widget and then select the option Wrap with a widget. Click on this option and then start typing card instead of the widget. Once we save, you can see that a card widget will be created. We have a little bit of shadow and you can see the round corners right here. If you hover over this card widget, you can see we have a bunch of properties that you can use to customize your card widget. We have the color. This allows you to set up a background color for your card. You have the shadow color. This will add a color to your shadow. By default is black, but you can change it. You have the surface tint color. This is for the foreground color. You can use elevation property to control the size of your shadow. The bigger the number, the more shadow this card will cast. And you can use shape property to change the shape of your card or to change the borders of your card. You have also border on foreground, which is a boolean. By default is true. We have the margin, but we'll now be working with margin in this episode because we need more than one widget so you can see how the margin behaves. You have the other properties like clip behavior and the widget. So let's give it a comma right here and let's start adding our customization. With material design number 3, we have two name constructors for the card besides the default. We have the filled name constructor and we have the outline. If you select the filled and you save it, you will see that we have no more shadows and the background color is now a gray color. And if you use the outline and save it, you will see just a border will be created for your card widget. If you hover over them, you can see we still are able to use the same properties for customization. So the first property I want to do is the color. So let's change the background color for the card. We use the colors class. This class is another class for material design that we've been using throughout this tutorial series. So you just call the colors dot and you will see a list of the colors available that you can use. Let's select this amber, save it, and you can see now the background color is yellow. Let's change the shadow color. So for that, use the shadow color property. And then again, you use the colors dot. But this time, let's use the blue color. Save. As you can see right here, we don't have the shadow. So to do that, let's use the elevation property. And then let's use like 4.0. Save. And you can see now we have the shadow. So if you increase the value, you will increase the size of the shadow. So you can remove this outline. We don't need it. And here you have this squiggly line warning. If you hover over it, you will see that this will say that the child argument should be the last in widget constructor invocation. What this warning is saying is that we have to paste this child property as the last property inside of a constructor. This is because when Flutter run your project and force this app widget class, this will create a widget tree. And all the information and customization from widget will be passed down from parent to child using this build context. Let's say you have a widget that you have a constraint in width and height. You need to pass this information to a child widget to know how much space we has available for rendering. That's why you need to provide the child as the last argument inside of a name constructor, because this build context will be passed down from parent to child. So now let's learn how to work with the shape. For this property, Flutter offers you a few classes that you can use. The first one being the stadium border. If you hover over it, you will see we have a property called side, and this will take this class border side. But if you leave as it is, if you save it, you can see now that your card is rounded. But you can use this border side property to specify in which side you want to make it rounded. This is the first class you can use, border stadium. The second class, let's call the shape again, is the underline input border. So this class will also have a few properties. We have the border side property and the border radius. Border radius is to allow you to customize the corners of your card, and the border side is to define a size for your border, a color for your border, and which sides you want the border to be displayed. So let's just save it, and you can see this border by default is black, but you can override it using the border side property. Again, this will take a border side, and if you hover over border side, it will have the color, the width for the border, the style, and the stroke alignment. So let's use the color. Let's change the color now. Again, let's use the colors dot orange class, give it a comma, and for the width, let's say 4.0. Save it. Let's change the background color for your card, so you can change this color for the border. Let's change it to green. Save, and you can clearly see the border right here. Let's increase the size of the border. Let's say 8 now. Save, and you can see now you have a more thick border. So these are the two classes you can use to customize. You also have another one that you can use, which is the, let's call again the shape property. And now instead of using the underline, you use the outline input border. And here you provide the same properties as the underline input border. You have the border size, the border radius, but now we also have a gap padding. So let's use this property, just copy this and paste it inside of it. And the difference is now we have a border to all sides of this card. So these are the properties that we can use to work with card widget. So before we go, let's just comment this property right here, and I want to show you a behavior that this card has. If you, instead of returning this icon widget, let's now return a text widget with a text, some text. So if this is your first video on this tutorial series, I have a link in the description below that you can watch to learn about working with text widget. So if you save, you will see, let's also comment all these properties right here. I just close this class. Let's open home.dart. Okay. So notice right here that the card is now just large enough to just wrap this text widget. But you can use a few widgets in Flutter to override this behavior. One of which is the one that we'll learn next, which is the padding property. You can use padding to wrap this text widget, and this will increase the size of this card widget. And another widget is the size box widget, where you can provide the width and the height for a child widget, and this widget will grow to take that value. So this is it for this video. If you find this video useful, give a like, and if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll reply to you as soon as possible. And subscribe to get notification when new videos are coming out and to help our channel. See you on the next one.